Zebec Network's next price movement is going to absolutely shock the load of you guys. Now, I have a few reasons I want to speak about this and few points going forward with why Zebec Network is just so bullish lately. And the latest little bit of a correction that's been happening is actually one of the most bullish case scenarios for Zebec. And I'll be explaining exactly why it's gone down and why this means massive price action coming over the next week or so, in my opinion. Zebec Network has been holding up absolutely brilliantly. So we've been speaking about this over the last week or so very aggressively. And now, guys, this trend line that we drew before is still holding to a T. We do not want to lose that level that we've been speaking about before there. So we'd like to definitely not lose at least 0.58. And we're kind of hovering around that level at the moment, but we have a while until we do hit that trend line. But what I want to talk about lately is why Zebec has gone down. Now, this is one of the best case scenarios for us. I believe what's been happening lately is the crypto market kind of got attacked by a cabal or a central kind of authority. There is this trader called James Wynn who places huge leverage Bitcoin positions, and I think they were out to hunt his position, and they did so successfully, right? But you guys can go read this in your own time. Bitcoin briefly dipped below 105,000. A trader in Hyperliquid identified under the pseudonym James Wynn saw his long positions liquidated in 2 successive rounds. First 527 Bitcoin, then 421 Bitcoin, for a total loss of 99.3 million. So I believe personally, this isn't a fact, that this is the contributing factor for why Bitcoin has been dipping lately. And of course, Bitcoin takes the market with it. We know historically that alt season kind of does have Bitcoin dropping a little bit and some of that liquidity rotating into more speculative assets. So we did see Bitcoin drop from 112,000 over this point in time over the last 2 weeks or so to now 104,000. And now I have marked on the graph an important point, which I want to highlight here. This is the 30th of May, approximately 3 o'clock, where I've highlighted that price action, that important price action. Now it lines up perfectly with Zebec Network on the 30th of May when we started getting some aggressive selling, right? So around about 3 o'clock at the same time, we did start getting aggressive selling in Zebec Network. Now, this is one of the best case scenarios for us, guys, because if we're only seeing selling pressure because Bitcoin has been getting smashed, we know with due time, Bitcoin's going to bounce back because it's the king of the market. And then the market's going to pick up again and Zebec is going to continue its bullish momentum. So typically something that happens, guys, it was when you see that aggressive Bitcoin sell off, you see altcoins drop dramatically. You saw Casper get obliterated before and all these other top altcoins. However, Zebec Network is setting up this beautiful kind of bull flag pattern that I'm very happy about. So if we can see the price action there, there's some nice trend lines we can get here, broken out of this trend here. And we're building some nice support around this mark here. Like I said, we do not want to lose this 0.0058 mark by the time we get to 3rd of June, right? That will kind of signify whether we're still in a bull trend or not. However, I think we're going to explode out very soon. Like I said, guys, I think with that guy's Bitcoin position being liquidated, like I think it was hunted out by some massive whales, right? I think we can continue our path on Zebec for the foreseeable future. So I think we're just going to chop for a little bit, wait for that Bitcoin confirmation, explode up again. And once we explode past this 0.07 again, I think it's takeoff time to the races, guys. I think we're going to go much, much higher. We have a beautiful setup here on the hourly time frame. The daily's looking a little bit better, obviously, because we've seen so much price action happen in the last week, especially. But the daily's looking great as well for a potential breakout to happen. We just need Bitcoin to settle down a bit, get a bit of confirmation, hit around 107, 108,000 again, just pick up a little bit. And then I think we're going to see Zebec follow suit and reach a new all-time high. I think we're that close to it because there's so much bullish momentum surrounding Zebec Network. There's so many announcements regarding it. They're constantly making new waves every day. We can go check it out in a second here. One of the latest bits of news that's happened is Zebec acquires Science Card, which was very bullish for the project. So many people were really excited about that in the comments down below. And there's a massive partnership there. So guys, I think this project is going to constantly be achieving things over the next month or so in particular. And I think a lot of people are going to see the real utility behind Zebec and everything like that. I think a lot of people are really underestimating just how high Zebec can go. If you look at this graph here, guys, pretty much called it to a T of where Zebec took off. We called it literally around this mark here, around 140 million market cap. And since then, we have not been wrong at all. Even about this dip, I said there will be some short-term sell pressure here. And then we're going to go off to the races and reach new all-time highs. Remember, guys, I was speaking about how it just pumped up so much. But sometimes TA doesn't matter with how much things can go up because there's so much bullish momentum. There's different nuance in markets that actually make TA not as effective as it should be. So if you're trading just based entirely off technical analysis regarding stocks and everything like that, you're not going to get the most bang for your buck out of your trades because you're trading purely off, oh, you know, this graph usually has this much of a percentage of breaking out. However, with the amount of news that's coming out with Zebec Network, with the cards and everything, the Coinbase news, and a lot of other bullish case scenario news, I think a lot of people underestimate just how high this can go because the market cap is so undervalued at the moment. We're still sitting at under 500 million market cap. When you're thinking top projects, you're thinking 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 billion market caps, right? So Zebec Network, definitely one to watch. And like I said, guys, I think the typical case scenario for the price action is chop around for a bit until we get that Bitcoin confirmation that we're going up again, which I think is going to come soon because I think their mission has been accomplished with liquidating this James Wynn trader guy.
You think you can do this to me?
I think that's what's happened, the main news regarding that. And we do know Bitcoin helped take Zebec Network down. However, the positives we can take from it, Zebec Network is holding up much, much higher than any other typical altcoin would be. Look at this structure that's held from this big Bitcoin dump, right? I know things like Casper got obliterated more than it should have, and some other strong, very, very strong crypto projects, but Zebec is holding up pretty much better than any of these other projects. So very exciting for Zebec because I think when the market bounces back, this is going to absolutely explode, guys. We can be absolutely very excited for the next price action regarding Zebec. Like I said, I told you guys we would see some short-term turbulence at this 0.07 mark, and look what's happened. We found the top right there. So I think the next short-term price that we're going to see a bit of sell pressure at is around that 0.9 mark, just before that cent, right? Just before we get to a cent, there'll be a lot of people speculating, can it even push as high as we think it can? There'll be traders that got in early, taking profits before that psychological barrier, because we do know a lot of trading is just simply psychological. So look forward to that, guys. I think Zebec is primed for a breakout. That's the latest news regarding Zebec, and I think that's what's happened right now. As we can see, they're doing great things every day. Real world asset payments that we've already talked about, Zebec cards, decentralized physical infrastructure as well, and Zebec vaults, and you can launch the app. Anyway, guys, that's enough from me and Zebec Network today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and join my free Telegram in the links in the description down below, where we talk about new crypto projects, talk about crypto projects that haven't been mentioned on the channel before, so you can get into them nice and early if you'd like to do so. See you guys in the next one, and peace.